Thanks so much for this opportunity to present to you. Projects on the land of Wurundjeri, so I want to pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. The site's in Kensington on Macaulay Road. It's a corner site, and we had a legacy of quite an important building. So this is Harry Norris design building. He also designed the Nicholas building. So quite a responsibility with the heritage sort of fabric. So we wanted to retain as much as possible of that. Now, the typical approach to an apartment building, as you all very well know, is a double-loaded apartment building. But that really sucks from a ventilation point of view, from a thermal performance point of view, and also from a community point of view. We really want this to be a building that was a physical manifestation of what Assemble's about. And Assemble's very much about sustainability, but it's more importantly about community. So what we did is we split the building apart, and that allowed us to create the central circulation space. Really big focus on communal amenity, and I'll take you through those in a moment. And then on the top corner with the best views and the best outlook and the best amenity is a communal multi-purpose room. So that's what the building looks like. So a cross section, and we always sort of draw arrows on these things showing how ventilation works, but this has now been inhabited by for almost a year. It's got thermally broken windows and doors. It's got eaves to the north. But really, the open corridor is a game changer. You actually feel a beautiful breeze when you open windows on both sides of your apartment. So every apartment's got outlook into the central void and also a totally private terrace on the south or north. So some views of the building. So we really basically restored the facade at the base, which is the Harry Norris design. And then we had a pretty simple sort of built form in behind. Some drone shots of it. You can see here that central circulation space on the top right, that communal space, the communal room as well there. So the idea with these spaces is they almost become the front verandas for each of the apartments. And the idea is that people sort of spill out into those spaces. So it's really lovely seeing that people start putting pot plants and bikes and things in there as well. There's this little cantilevered balcony, which is a little sort of moment to indicate that communal room at the very top. On the northern facade, we're really proud of the perforated corrugated aluminium panels that we managed to color match to concrete so beautifully. So the ground floor, there's a big lobby space, a cafe space that was actually designed by 6 Degrees. But the reason I mention this is it's actually run by Assemble. It's a zero waste cafe, but it's also an interface between Assemble and the residents, so kind of informal concierge service. Multi-purpose communal workshop, a lending library, and look, if we're fortunate enough to be shortlisted, really excited to show all these facilities to you, because one of the most exciting things about this project is actually a compost system. So it's actually a biocomposter, so all the green waste from the gardens and the cafe and all the residences turned into beautiful compost by this really cool machine. The car park is actually probably, of all the things that I'm proud of in this building, the one I'm most proud of. So we're always trying to unlock car parking. What do we do about it? Under the Assemble model, you don't own car spaces, you rent them from the body corporate. So it means that if in the future car ownership declines, this can be repurposed into something else. So we've actually got windows to the street and to the laneway, and it's a double height space. So again, if we're fortunate enough to be shortlisted, I'd love to show you that space. So this is the lobby area, the sort of sculptural sort of climbing sort of frame, is because it's also a building designed for pets and kids. A view into the multi-purpose communal workshop. So this is a place you can do all the sort of messy jobs that you can't do inside your apartment. Typical floor, but this one's also got a couple of extra amenities. Oh, it's frozen, sorry. Well, it's frozen, so I'll tell you a little bit about why it's frozen. So this is actually a dog wash area and kids play zone, a washing line, and then the apartments, you've got really 2-bedroom apartments with 1 bedroom facing into the central void, and then the other one sort of facing out north or south. So I'm really sorry it's frozen.
Try and move your mouse sideways off to the right.
Onto the screen.
Onto the screen.
Yeah.
Ah, there we go. So that's a view of the washing area, and that's the dog wash area. So there's actually 50 dogs in this building of 73 apartments. So we sort of sold it as this building that was going to be dog friendly, and people went crazy for dogs. We've also got panels where you can retrofit a dog door onto your balcony. So that's been a really important feature as well. So here's the void space through the middle. This is actually where the tower crane sat. So rather than having a sort of square boxy form cutting up through there, we turn it into this lovely curve. And we've clad the internal lining of this with stainless steel mesh. And that allows these lovely views between the levels. So you can really get a sense of what's going on the other floors. And I mentioned before the idea of these the sort of circulation space is becoming an extension of your home. So really inspired by these sort of 60s walk-ups. And I really love the front terrace of Victorian terrace, of the front veranda space, that sort of interstitial space between the bedroom and the front door. So that's our version of it. So people have started really using that as a sort of front veranda. There's no privacy screens in this project. We just use curtains for privacy. And people throw the word community around a lot. Look, you can't build community, but what you can build is build a sort of infrastructure that starts to build neighborliness. So that's really what this sort of central space is about. The interior of the apartments, again, if we're fortunate enough to be shortlisted, sort of show you through those, just simple, robust sort of apartment interiors, and then stepping up to the top floor. We then don't have a roof on the top floor, we've got these little sort of canopies. And then the communal, outside the communal room, there's a little terrace area. And then that communal room is actually set up in a way, the way that you'd have a little scout hall. So super robust surfaces, but designed to have a multiple different functions happen in there. So it's got, you know, dining tables, it's got a little kids corner, a barbecue area as well. And it's been very hard to sum up this building in sort of 8 minutes, but I'd really love to show you through it. The thing that really strikes us the most is how happy the residents are and all the new connections that have been created between the residents as well.